friends, it's Deborah. Welcome back to the channel. So in my full day of eating the other day, I received a lot of comments from you guys saying that yes, you wanted to see me cook my taco meats. So I'm going to go ahead and cook that, but I'm going to show you when I don't have a lot of time, I make a quick homemade salsa. I like to make salsa homemade. It's better than anything you're going to buy at the grocery store. The ingredients are cleaner. A lot of those add in sugars and stuff. This way you know how to add it in. I've shared a couple of salsa recipes with you guys. I'm going to share this one. I think I've shared this one before. It's one where I don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to use some dried chile de árbol. This is where the heat is coming from. Use 1 can of whole peeled tomatoes. If you don't have fresh tomatoes, it's okay. You can use can. I use can a lot in the wintertime. I'm using half of an onion, some lime. I've got 2 jalapenos and a serrano here. I've got some adobo. If you don't have this, you don't need to use it. Here are the ingredients. You can use salt, chili pepper, garlic, oregano, and turmeric for color. You could just make your own. I'm using some garlic powder, some black pepper. I gotta get my pink Himalayan salt, using some avocado oil, and then some cilantro. I have this already cut up. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to put some avocado oil in the pan. I'm gonna toast these up. These only take a few minutes. You gotta be careful because they burn easy. So what it's gonna do, it's gonna soften up the chili for me to blend it with the tomato. And it's also going to infuse that oil, which it's going to give it flavor. And I'm going to use that oil to cook my beef in. You don't have to do that part. You really don't. But if I'm making the salsa, I might as well. If you want to see what I'm making tonight, keep on watching. But before we hop into this cook with me, do me a favor, click on that red subscribe button. I would love for you to be part of my healthy meat journey. Also, don't forget to click on that notification bell. That way you're notified every time I upload a video. Now, let's get cooking. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn my stove on to a medium-high heat. I'm going to go ahead and add in some avocado oil. That's plenty. These are hot. If you've never used chile de árbol, I would use 2 or 3. I like a lot. I like stuff with heat. So I'm just going to go ahead and cook those in the oil for a little bit. Like I said, that'll infuse the oil, give it some flavor for when I add in my taco. I did want to show you, I ended up putting in my jalapeno, my serrano, and my onion in here. I'll go ahead and let it roast up in that oil. That way, it'll give my salsa flavor. It'll give my taco meat flavor. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out because they're done. And I'm going to continue to let the other veggies go a little bit. Just for a little while longer. So while those are continue to cook in the oil, all I have is the can of tomato in here. The chiles, I'm going to go ahead and chop them up. Add in all that into here and then spice it up, season it. All right, friends, so I went ahead, put in all the veggies in here. All I did was I used about a half a teaspoon and a half of real salt. I used about a tablespoon of the black pepper. I used about a teaspoon and a half of this adobo. And I didn't use fresh garlic, I forgot. So I'm just using garlic powder. I did a whole tablespoon because I love garlic. I'm going to go ahead, blend it up. I'll taste it. Oh, and I also did half of a lime wedge. I'm going to taste it. If it's too hot, you can always add a little bit more lime to cut the heat. So let me blend it. It's so perfect. I don't need anything. It does have a kick to it. I'm just going to leave it like that though because we like it a little hot. That was it. Easy peasy. My cilantro is not looking the greatest, so I'm not going to put cilantro in it. You can eliminate it. You either love it or hate it. Now let's get to the taco. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and brown up the meat a little bit before I add in my spices. So easy. Remember, I have a little bit of that oil. You don't need to add oil if you don't want to. I figure it's additional healthy fat for me, and it wasn't much, and it's flavorful. All right, friends. So I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning this. These are the seasonings I'm using. I'm using cumin, I'm using real salt, Himalayan pink salt, using that adobo, garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, and black pepper. So this is like the game changer. This is what you need to use. This brings out so much good flavor. I would say at least a tablespoon. By the way, I have a pound of meat cooking. I would say a tablespoon of the cumin to start. The adobo, garlic powder, onion powder. I'm low on that, but that should be enough because I'm going to put fresh onions, some smoked paprika, and some black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and mix that all together. So I am going to add in a little bit more cumin, comino, because I don't smell it enough. And that's just how I go by, that's how I just season everything. Trust me, it's good. So I'm going to add in just a little bit more. That was probably about a teaspoon. And then a little bit more paprika. It's smoked. And there's a Mexican one too that's really good. Looking good. I'm going to go ahead and add in my jalapeno and my onion now. So I'm going to go ahead and cook this up. Well, at least saute. The meat's already cooked pretty much. It'll finish cooking while the onion and jalapeno soften up a little bit. I put a little bit of smoked paprika, a little bit more. So, alright, so for the measurements, guys, I don't track my seasonings, not right now. Maybe later when I'm in maintenance, but not right now. So for seasonings, I probably did a tablespoon of the black pepper, tablespoon and a half to 2 for the cumin. The paprika, same thing, about a tablespoon and a half. The onion, I did about a teaspoon and a half. Garlic, about a tablespoon. Adobo, a teaspoon and a half for the salts. These are some other ones that you can put in there. You can always put chipotle pepper. You can put a little bit of sazon. I have the coriander and annatto. And then I have the cilantro and tomate, the cilantro and tomato. That's a good one. I used to put this in like Mexican rice. Here's the chile de árbol molido. So ground up, the chili that I use in the salsa. You can put whatever seasonings you like. Just add whatever flavorings you want to it. But that cumin, make sure you put that cumin in there. And I really prefer doing my own just because A, I've always done it that way. I mean, I'm Latina. And B, if you look at the packages of those taco seasonings, they have a lot of like fillers, sugar. This is looking really good. There's so many different possibilities. You can fry up some low-carb tortillas and make hard shell tacos. You can make a chaffle bowl. You can make a chaffle and use chaffles as your tortilla shell. You can have nachos. I am going to be doing like a nacho platter. And while my meat was browning, I did take it one avocado, I sliced it in half, I mushed it up. All I'm going to do in here is I'm going to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of garlic. I'm not making guacamole. I'm just making like a smashed avocado. And then I love this queso fresco. It's fresh crumbling cheese. I add this into here and onto my nachos, my tacos, whatever. It's so delicious. It's like a topping cheese. And I'm going to add some of this to that and just add that to my nachos. And that's it. Very plain, very simple, but so delicious. I can make a guacamole. I do. But sometimes when I want to do a quick meal, this hits the spot because I'm going to eat it with this and that. There you have it, friends. I have my burner on low now because I'm going to go ahead and fry up some hard shell tacos for my husband. And this is what it's looking like. It tastes delicious. This is what it's looking like. This is some good taco meat, guys. Very easy. You can use ground pork, ground chicken. You can use steak. You can use whatever you want. It's so versatile. So there you go. Keto under 20 minutes. I made the guacamole. I made the salsa. I made the ground beef. It's pretty cheesy in there. Just made it like a little natural platter and I'm good to go.